What's up, everyone? If I look a little weird or I make weird facial expressions, it's because I'm a little bit stressed today. So, that's interesting that that's the case, though. So, I'm going to talk about real quickly this idea of life being like playing a musical instrument. So, I was reading a book recently, actually rereading. It's a book by a guy named Daniel Goleman, where he talks about, and also Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, Flow by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi and Focus by Daniel Goleman. Two amazing books. I do recommend those. Well, they were talking about, generally, they both talk about how your attention systems work and how your executive functions work in your brain, which are closely related to your personality type, actually, as an aside. But there are different parts of the brain that handle different types of thinking. Okay? So you have a part of your brain that handles semantic types of thinking, whereas you have another part of your brain that handles more episodic type of thinking, meaning that thinking in words is more semantic, and episodic is more like thinking in events. All right, and then there's procedural thinking as well, which isn't really thinking. It's like musical instrument. You pick up a tuba. I used to play the tuba, so I know the fingerings of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The fingerings for all the notes, or note up, and then I just know all the way because I practiced it, and I can't really explain that to you in words very easily, but I can easily demonstrate the fingerings. Bum 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 bum, and it's deeply ingrained in me from experience. Now, the same thing goes for, say, any concept, talking about personality types, talking about how emotions work. It's kind of weird developing a mechanical intellectual understanding of emotions when it's like you can feel them, but not everyone has had those same feelings. So when you try to describe to someone something they've never experienced, like if I try to play a musical instrument, I'm like, I can feel the tension of the sound on my lips. And when I try to play louder, when I, pound my tongue, it's a weird thing to say, is pound your tongue against the mouthpiece of the instrument. So it kind of creates this like vicious attack. It's like dun 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 dun, tonguing the sound. It's like, how do you explain that to someone? In the same way, how do you explain someone who's never been, say, emotionally secure, what it's like to be emotionally secure? Or what is it like to explain to someone how to do math if they've never done math? Or all sorts of things. Or what it's like to be a different race, a different gender. What you can't really explain those things necessarily. You can try, and there's such a thing as empathy, but empathy is limited. There are limits to that. So what I'm saying about life is like playing a musical instrument, and this is what they were saying in the books, is that, yeah, you can have a semantic understanding of things, but to actually understand something on a true intuitive level, you have to develop the intuition through experience and action. So if you want to get good at, say, knowing what personality types really mean on an intuitive level, you have to understand how to actually interact with people with their types in mind, not semantically, like informing your semantic understanding, but actually developing a social intuition that includes an understanding of personality type. Something like that. And that goes for any skill. Anything that requires you to be effective in the world is like playing a musical instrument in a sense. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and I will see you some point in the future.